Okay, finally a night that, well, I mostly feel like actually doing this. We'll see how this turns out. At the moment, we're in it. We'll see what we can get done. But I think we're going to cut these down from an intended every night that just isn't going to work to 2 or 3 nights a week. Not sure what nights those are going to be, and it may be hit and miss like it has been this last week. We shall see. I am going to try to continue my every morning Fixmas stuff, but we'll see about that too. But that's intended to continue, well, at least for the Fixmas event. Anyways, tonight, back to aluminum. Go figure. But that tonight will hopefully be the end of that. Let's see. Do I have anything I need to get rid of? A little bit. Let's clean up inventory here. Oh, let's see. What do I not need? I do not need any of that. Or that. Or that. Or that. And let's turn that into biomass. So throw the rest of those away then. Nothing else I can really get rid of. But let's, in the interests of saving slots, nope. Save another slot that way. I do not need that hard drive with me, so let's drop the hard drive in here. Don't need the tickets with me. For that matter, I don't need any of that with me. Let's throw that. And those, if it'll take it. For that matter, those and those, if it'll take it. Why is YouTube not receiving enough video? I'm showing no dropped frames and 8 KB. Interesting. My end says everything is fine. Okay, everything uploaded. Let me open another window. And see what my video looks like to me. Oh, let's see. They make it really hard to look at your own video. Well, at the moment it looks stable to me. Interesting that YouTube is having issues. Well, so far it seems steady. Watching it back myself, I'm not sure what YouTube is complaining about. Anyone watching this, no one's watching it live right now but me, but anyone watching it after the fact, if you notice glitches here at the beginning, let me know, please. I'm curious what YouTube is complaining about. Okay, back to business. And I do have, I actually have two monitors. Yeah, I just responded to you, Dan, actually, while I was watching my stream back here, trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know if you saw a minute ago. YouTube was complaining until just a moment ago that it wasn't getting enough video for me. So I took a minute and was watching my own stream back and wasn't getting any glitches, and I answered your post while I was doing that. What was I doing here? I was going to drop something back in here. We don't need that. Did everything upload? Yes, it did. So we are off to do aluminium. See, that's this way. I need to make a proper bank of tubes. Yeah, per your comment, I am aware of the overproduction. I have some thoughts for dealing with it. I realized that last year, and this is basically the same design as last year. But it's not a functional issue, so I'm not really intent on doing anything about it. I might, but the other part of your comment, I like your idea. What you described you were doing. I like it. All right. So what we have so far is we have 2 blocks of processing ore into solution into scrap. One there, one here, independent. Then we have the turning into ingots, and then we have a block over there that is doing aluminum clad sheets, and a block here that is doing whatever they call the packaging casing, that's what. And at the moment all of it is going into first going into a buffer and into the not portal, anyways, the dimensional storage anyways, and leftovers are going into yep, Brain Dead's night sinks in the same over there. However, it has been, as if you've watched previous streams, you know that my waterless recycling has not been working here on the first one. Depot, thank you there, Dan. Oh, lovely. It's not earlier this morning it was working fine on this one and not on the first one here. Are we working on the first one now? No, they're both running at 65, which means they're both experiencing the same problem, and that is that both buffers are full, which is interesting because I gave them only enough water to fill one, and then disconnected the water. They did not have enough fluid to fill both containers, but yet they are currently hydrolocked. Well, not entirely. They're obviously functioning a little, but... And since they're both running at 65%, I assume they're both running with the same problem. I do not understand. And yes, the numbers match up, that this one outputs what those want, those output what this wants. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flush this and this. We are not going to put any water back into the system. And I'm about ready to reprogram those back to the old system, but I don't know a way to keep them from hydrolocking when I'm feeding them water either. I have some notes here to watch a video that I haven't had a chance to watch yet that supposedly says how to do that. I am not, from what I saw of the intro to the video, I am skeptical, because what I saw in the intro to that video isn't going to do anything different than what I'm doing here. But anyways, goal for tonight is to set up the third section, which is going to be another copy of these. Ow, 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 ow. Hang on. Mm. Mm. Alright, if that keeps up, this will be a short stream. Ow. For those who wonder, muscle spasms in my neck. Not comfortable. And that's a summary of the actual issue. Okay. First off, build part A. That is factories aluminum processing. Ow! Absolutely. So what we have is on the first one, 400 bauxite, which doesn't matter, we're actually overfeeding those. 400 water in. And this is the only one, this processing bauxite is just the first one. So we got 400 water in, 480 out. These first two are 160 in, 160 out. Second one, 160 in, 160 out. The last one is 160 in and 80 out. The last one is not doubled. The first two are doubled. So this makes 3 times 160, which is 480. So this eats all 480 that comes out of the first one. But because the last one here is not doubled on the output, it's only 400 going back. 2 times 160 plus 80. So the way I start them, and I had one run for days like this, is I start them by filling the one tank up to, and this is set up so I got water coming in here, can't fill that up. It fills by going around the system. I fill this up to about half to 3/4 and then disconnect the water. And at that point it should run the cycle all by itself. And I've had a system that has run for days that way, cleanly. This system, for some reason, is hydrolocking itself starting with an empty tank. It's generating extra water somehow. But what's really interesting is a couple days ago, twice, I had, I think that was before I had the second system here, but they're programmed the same. I had it drink both containers dry. both of them were empty. And I had that happen twice. I don't understand, other than to say there's some bugs in their fluid mechanic math. I think they're overdoing I think they're way overdoing the physics processing, whatever. And as likely as not, as it's in the physics engine, not in the game code. But I think I need to change the defaults on I don't think that programming is what's in the blueprint here, so I think I need to program these. Yeah, see, this setup is for the silica and water-fed version. So I need to change the recipe to the sloppy, and no, sloppy is not. Yeah, that's it. So that's our initial, and then these are set up. These are two, so we'll just copy these into 1 and 2. Then I can copy it into 3 and then pull that out. Wait a minute, 3 is, we're going to copy 3 over 2. Because that one's turned down as well. Oh, they're all turned down. Just the last one is not doubled. Okay. So this one is set. Bring my power across. Wait a minute, where's... Oh, I brought it across down here. I'm like... Power from there to there. And I need to set up, bring coal up. So let that buffer in, and then we need to bring bauxite up from this level, I think. Yeah, that level. And that's got to come from the bottom one here. And I had to balance these out since I had 600 on one and 300 on the other two, but each of these wants 400 in. So I've got 1200 on the bauxite total here. I had to rebalance it. That's done there. And then I just feed one each to these. And now I just need to feed water here. at least in theory. So here you'll be able to watch. Well, this isn't going to do good either. Turn you off for a minute, because it isn't going to work until I have stuff out here. So let's see, the DTD. Really? Okay, where do I get to steal some sloops from? Do I have any of these? I know where I can go if I want to, but... Here's 1, 2, 3. I need 3 more. Back to main base. We've got several machines there that don't actually need them. Guess I'm gonna have to go searching here soon. Hey, you're supposed to suck me in there, you know? Welcome new viewer, or old viewer, recently joined viewer. We're heading back to my starter base to steal some sloops. Let's see, I don't think any of you have sloops. Who has sloops? Somebody's got to have sloops. You have sloops. What are you making? Let's see. I don't think any of you are slooped. You used to be slooped, but I've already stolen yours. You stuff aren't slooped. You're slooped. You're slooped. There we go. Alright. Back down somewhere here. Where's my... Back to aluminum. And make sure we get this set up the right direction and aligned correctly. put a splitter on let's see. Okay. On that one. And turned on that one. And then we do a merger into that one. And then we have, wait a minute, are these? They're all 4. Because this is all, should all be just 450 coming out. Now, let's see, the far one comes up 1, 2. The middle one is at the base, and this one's on the outside. Nope. The far one comes up 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one comes up 1, 2. And then well, that is one of the next things for me to do is expand power. Okay, so middle goes to the bottom one here. This goes to this one, and this goes to that one. So that'll take care of ingoting, and we'll branch, you'll bring your power line over from the others. And then I gotta figure out, let's see, for this, that's what I have this machine over here for. This is for building the heat sinks, and we need copper again. We have, and yesterday or the day before, at some point, I had these numbers figured out. We have a total of 1,200 coming out of, well, we have 400 coming out of each of 3 rows, or columns, or whichever way you want to think of it, for a total of 1,200. We can process, so let's see, calculator, 1,200 divided by 37.5, that's terrifying, it comes out exact. An exact number at this point in Satisfactory? That can't be right. $1,200 is what I'm spitting out. I need to process that in machines that are eating 37.5 per minute. Comes out to exactly 32. That's terrifying. I did do my math right, yes. These are 80 each. Yeah. Most numbers, yeah, sort of. What's really bugging me isn't that it comes out exact, it's that it didn't come out exact yesterday or the day before or whenever this stream was originally supposed to air, which I think was a couple days ago. But this number works good. According to this, it needs 32 machines. That is 16 machines in 2 rows, which is, I can't fit 3 rows. I need to fit 2 rows. That's why I have this little splitter set up on each of these, because there's not room to fit 3 rows. But that means 16 per row, which would be a bit much. I think this is 12. What do we got? 4. No, this is 20. 20 total, 10 per row. I'm not going to fit 16 on here, but I've got plenty of shards. I've got plenty of shards, so we'll just take and double them, and so we will do 8 per row. Yes, I have noticed that if you factor them out correctly, they do come out to decent numbers eventually. You just got to figure out what the right factoring is. What is my... oh. I hate getting notices that I'm not expecting, because most of the notices I get on my computer and on my phone both, I'm expecting in some form. And I get a new one, it's like, what's going on? Okay, so I need to grab blueprint for looks like I need a new thing over here for assemblers. The question is, which one of these is which? There's my single one. There's 4 of them in a row. Yep. That's... what was the one I was... Ooh. What was the one I was looking at? It was like 12 something, I think. I wonder how this is programmed. I guess we'll find out, because this is the arrangement I need. I need 2 of these. And that should fit just like that. And then I need 1 more of those. And you're going to tell me I'm missing something. Yeah, but we're almost there. coated industrial beams is probably one of those machines I just stole the sloops out of. Come on, finish making those beams. And what annoys me about this is it's not the production of the beams that is slow. The problem is the upload speed into the depot. Yeah, this is why Fixmas is why I wanted to get my stuff up to, well, I didn't need aluminum, but I wanted to get it up past steel before Fixmas. That's, you may remember when I started this setup, I said I wanted to get my factory to a certain point before certain things happened. And that's why I wanted to know that I had everything I needed to do Fixmas before Fixmas started. Last year doing Fixmas, we were just starting the factory when Fixmas started. So it was a all-out get things done. Fortunately, I got things up to what I needed and then some for this. But now I'm running at nuclear stage as far as where I've progressed to. All I've got is to do the last couple things for phase 4. But I'm still operating off of a starter base. And let me place this, and well, you've seen most of my base, but I don't know who else is watching, so let's do a base tour. Not actually go anywhere, but show base layout here in a minute. So my base is that right there. That is my, for all practical intents and purposes, that's my base. Let's see. My hub is here. Basic iron is here. Copper is back here. Steel is here. And let's see, that's concrete, and these are auxiliary machines, and so is that and that. And there's some mess over other auxiliary stuff here. Oh, does this actually, I can hover over a machine? What popped up? I didn't, what was I hovering over that something popped up? Oh, it was my hub. Okay, rats. I was gonna say, wait, I can see what's in one of these machines? This is a mod I'm just starting to play with. So this is, as far as actual production, this is a very basic base. Just the basic materials are in actual production, and all of the things like rotors and whatnot, they're just single machines scattered where they need to be. I have outposts for, like, there's Caterium here, there's coal power here. This is nothing yet. That's Caterium and concrete expansion, because there's a Caterium node there, I think, and there's limestone over here, if I remember right. This down here is that is called, look up cartograph. It's cartograph something. I don't know exactly. Let's. This just says cartograph. It's cartograph something in the mod loader list, or here, I got SMM right here. Cartograph buildings on a map by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but it's Cartograph buildings on a map is the name of the mod. The only thing I wish I could zoom in a little farther, but yeah, I have my coal power there. This was going to be Caterium and concrete. This is sulfur for explosives. This is my initial. I got 4 refineries here. We got plastic, rubber, each of which produces the heavy oil or heavy byproduct purple stuff. Then I got 1 to process that back into fuel, just to use it, and 1 that uses a bit of that to make smokeless powder, which goes over here to make my explosive rebar. And then I got the power generators here to use up the fuel, which is just a byproduct in the case of this arrangement. They're just there to use up the fuel. But that's also my first fuel power. That's my first oil use. That's my only plastic and rubber right there at this point. And really, that whole thing there is for plastic, rubber, and explosive rebar, is the whole point of that setup there. That's Fixmas up there. This little thing here is my SAM. This is copper coming back here for what we're doing right now. This is fuel power, and this is the aluminum that we're working on right now. That's all there is to my factory, and I've got nuclear unlocked. So my next step after getting this aluminum up, is to rebuild this completely, probably somewhere else while keeping this operative, and build it more properly, so I can, because this is not expandable. I don't have any way to bring more stuff into it, not neatly from outside. I mean, it can be done. There's ways to do it. But this is not arranged for expansion. This is arranged as a startup base, get things done, and we'll do something different later. And that's the stage that I'm at once I get this last bit of aluminum done, is to take and build the second level base. Actually, over here on my to-do list, there's a number of things to do here. Because, as was noted on a recent stream, I'm running low on power. And I'm regularly running low on plastic and Caterium. Yeah, Grassy Plains is one of the places I'm looking at for building the next level. And the most, well, let's see. Grassy Plains is one. The big open area up on the northwest of the, I call it the coal fields. You know where, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And the other is just plain going out over the water and building where there's no obstacles. There's a number of options for where to go build. And one I'm actually considering is staying right here, well, up here, and going up 20 or 30 floors and building a sky platform, which is effectively what I'd be doing whichever place I go. It's just that here I've got to go up quite a ways to get out of all the different rockies and trees and whatever that's all over the place. So I'm not sure where I'm going or how I'm going to go about it yet. But that's the next things in line, is stabilizing what I have so that I can use it as a base, to a launching pad to go build a real base. But okay, these are built. Now I've got to tie them together and power them up. And program them. Let's do programming first. So we will have 3 sets of 4 coming out of there. Let's program them, then wire them. So I need, well, assuming that's correct over there, I just need to run the basic recipes. No. I need to heatsink and double it. Yeah, that's what we want there. And then just copy this down. Dan, do you know of a way, because I saw someone do something that looked like he was copying a recipe and then he highlighted a bunch of machines to paste it, or something like that. Do you know of a way of doing that? Yep, there's four regular oil wells and a series of oil, whatever you want to call them, springs or something over there. And you're right, there's lots of space off the water off to the west side there. And I have some huge oil in one of my, well, the world where I did the last, you've seen a bit of the world where I did the Fixmas last year. And I've shown you a bit of the spaghetti that originated there. To the west side of that world, I have 3 or 4 huge oil plants over those 4 nodes, 5 nodes if you want to call it, over there. That's where I learned how to do the various types of oil processing. For that matter, over there on the northwest coal fields is where I learned how to do coal. Let's see, it looks like they are programmed, so wiring. looks like we're wiring across here, so we do this. That should power all of those up. In the first batch, we need to power the second batch. How did I set the powering up for these? Would be from that pole to that pole. Or actually I can do it from that one to that one too, but that should... Oh, nope, I gotta do both by the looks of it. I really should take and do the power bar down the middle is what I should do for these. Why didn't that power... Apparently I didn't link both sides in the blueprint. Okay, so they are powered up. Somewhere here I need to run the belts across here. And I want to do it this way. That should cover the belts for everything. And then, like the others, make sure I line up with the outputs, not the inputs. For the moment, I'm gonna have to do a storage. We'll go proper storage. We'll stick it behind one of you like that, and then we do smart splitter. The merger. Do that on there. Pretty sure I don't need Mark V for any of this, but it's what I've got in hand. Okay, so that'll cover the output. Erg. Then here I also need splitters, but here we're aligning with well, I guess we'll align with all the rest of them. Why are you saying I'm aligned when I'm most definitely not aligned? Oh, it's on a half. Okay. So I want to be aligned. We're going to align you differently. Wait a minute. These need to be mergers. Well, that's why you're being weird. Okay. So you weren't wrong. I was just looking at you wrong. Change these to mergers. And then I actually want a splitter coming from this one. You're going to the bottom one. And you've got to come from the output one. And you've got to go to the bottom one. There. That should take care of you once I make the rest go. Implant power poles. So you're sticking power poles like right inside the machine kind of thing. What I do when I get serious, what I do is I take and build a painted bar thing, painted pole inside where the foundation goes, and put power sockets along it, right under the machines, right underneath the buds on the machines, and then put the concrete back, so it's completely hidden. See, I do this, I've done this a few times, but to me it looks ugly. To me this is, it's more convenient, but looks worse than the poles to me. It is definitely convenient, no argument with that. It just doesn't look good to me. Okay, this should all be ready to go. It just needs fed with something. So now let's go back here and turn my first machine on. So no water in there. There should be some in here. No. So nothing happening even though I've got the water turned on. Well, I guess that makes sense because this machine is turned off. Now crap should happen. And let's put some monitors in so we can see what's going. That should be 400. These should be I forget. The bottom one is less than the other two, but I forget what the numbers actually are. I think it's 480, 480, and something smaller. But now at least this can run. This can run free. Everything should process. That's backed up. Why? Somewhere belts are not going through. Whereabouts not... Oh, crap. Let's turn you back off before everything backs up completely. It's not you, it's you guys. We need the copper. We forgot the copper. We need to do this. Walkways is something I haven't used a lot, and I need to. I really should build these. See, these blueprints are made to have a floor put in here if desired, is the way I've built them. That's why they look kind of funny. But I should also put walkways like along here or something on these. How am I going to do this? The thing to do would be so many options, but I think what we're going to do is put a splitter there and there. And put a floor hole here, I think. And then I need to take do believe I'm going to need to go right. I can either go right next to that or on the one over. I think I'm going to go one over, so we're in between, right in between those guys. And hopefully I can turn. I want to do just enough to turn the corner here. So we will go, we want to go right there. One of these things did not fall straight. One of these things did not get set properly straight. It looked like it to me. Okay, regardless, what I need is a thing sitting right on top of my power thing here. Fortunately, the game doesn't care. And we want to make sure that's going the other direction. And we'll bring it up to the same height as that one, just so we're nice and orderly here. do I need to do? How did I do it? Oh, I do have two separate ones coming in. So I guess how much do I need over here? I need 45 times 8 each. 90 times 4, or 450 each line. Which is a whole belt each line, so I need 2, which means this isn't going to work. This means 360. 45 each times 8. That's 90 times 4. You're right, that's 36. Don't mind me. Either way, I still need 2 belts. Let's see. I guess I'm doing it the way they did. I did it on the other side. I think I did. There I came up over the side. Here I'm going to have to do 2 floor holes. Except those floor holes are in the wrong place now. And probably those are too. We'll know here in a minute. Can I? Yes. Excellent. And then this one goes there. To go there. The fun part will be repeating what I did to set that one up. Oh, and I can't. Gotta do this in the right order. Oh, I should have done it that way. That's not going to work, is it? It does work. Okay, we'll leave it that way. I can work with that. Remember I said one of these didn't set. One of these, this, I know this is square because I set those independent. So one of these sets of poles is not square. And the belts do this on a regular basis somehow. It's a known thing that I come out of something like that that's known to be square and turn a corner like this, put a thing down, and this one will not be square for some reason. It'll just be a hair off, enough to bugger the belts. It's like the belts get set a half a degree off or something. Now I don't know where the set was over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we want it right there. Now let's try to run the belts. Top one. Bottom one. Top one. Bottom one. Top one. Bottom one. But why you do this to me? Nope. Gotta make it hard. And right there is an example of why I don't like that system. Because sometimes the belt links to the hanger, and sometimes the belt links to the thing attached to the hanger. Now we want this to go here, plus 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we need to place this one, making sure it's going in the right direction. Right there. Now the top one should be properly linked. And that one should now be linked. And now we can do proper curve mode to each of them. And still look decent. And they're both getting here. Duck. And it looks like we're getting stuff there. Looks like we're getting stuff to both of them. Now, did I turn this off again, or did I leave this running? Oh, I turned it off, but we should now be able to let it rip. But these machines do not seem to be running still. Now what? Ah, shit. Dan, you didn't yell at me. Well, this ain't gonna work. This is all wrong. That wants sheet, not ingots. Which means basically I need to take and split this here, put that over there, here, and put this here, basically over here. Oh, Dan, you should have told me. This is when I want another mod I haven't played with yet. Apparently there's a mod out there that you can... You're supposed to know these things. Apparently there's a mod out there that allows you to make a blueprint by selecting things deconstruction style, which would be really, really nice sometimes, like right now. I mean, it's easy since these are blueprinted. I can delete these easily and rebuild them over here easily. That's not a big deal. Well, see how you are? You're supposed to be paying attention. This is the making the coolers. So I've got alclad sheet over there, the casings in the middle, and this was going to be the coolers. But the coolers don't use the ingots, they use the alclad sheet over there. So I basically need to take and copy paste that over here and put this over here. Such is life. That's what I get for not paying attention. And I'm yelling at Dan because I can, but it's my fault. I should have been looking closer. Actually, you know what? All of that except for I think I have to rebuild at the very least those, and almost certainly that and these. But that should be the same. And in fact, now that I've deleted all that, all I would have had to do is change the recipes. It's the same blueprint. This needs to be changed because now we'll be taking our blueprint will take more space, but now it'll be taking the output from this. Oh, crud. I don't have enough. How are you guys programmed? You guys are not programmed with sloops. Oh, good. I can build it. Because I got all kinds of shards. I don't have many on me, but I have several hundred back at base. And I've got the necessary sloops because they'd be in whatever I just deleted. Okay, so we need 20 over there. And that is this. Rotated by 1. Where's my arrow? There's an arrow around here somewhere, right there. There, rinse, repeat. And there. And then we only need 2 more here, but the blueprint is 4, so we just delete the extras. And I don't know what makes the red highlight that stays there, but see, these did it too. Any idea what the deal is with the red highlight there, Dan? Or shouldn't I bother asking? You're not paying attention again, right? Ah, you're gonna go play with MS. I do not envy you. You're just trying to get away from me yelling at you. That's what you're doing. I know. I know. Have fun with MS. The ship M. I don't even know what that is. Might be a typo. But whatever it is, have a good time with it. Thank you for stopping by. I wish I could do a filter where it would delete or select for deletion everything but certain things, aka foundation. That's part of the blueprint, so I need to remove that too. I think the question though is which blueprint is it part of? Rebuild that. Now we should have 20 machines here, all of which need to be reprogrammed like these. And if I remember correctly, I've got to upgrade all the belts underneath here too. Yep. Whoever said Satisfactory is fun needs to be shot. That'd be Ada, right? We all know it's Ada. Actually, now we need to go join you, and then you, and you. Okay, good. They all got copied because they've all turned yellow, so they're programmed. But they're all built with Mark IV belts, and everything needs to be upgraded to all the belts, not these, but all the feed belts, the down the line belts need to be upgraded to Mark V. And as you might be able to guess, doing so inside there, somewhat annoying. Let's leave it at that. It's entirely doable. It's not a major issue. It's just a little bit annoying. And of course I've got to connect between the blueprints. What the? I did, didn't I? I am not redoing that. It can suck on it. And that's going to come back and bite me later, but oh well. Those are 5, everything's 5, okay. Yeah, so that last blueprint is offset. And that's going to annoy me to no end. But oh well. Oh, now I need to, yeah. I need to go do that again. For this side. That's where the copper needs to go. Oh, not that. Okay. All of them are programmed, all of them are being fed, at least in theory. But what's being fed is actually leftover from when I last had that. Actually, I believe I left it turned on this time. Oop, that's turned off. Good. Now, in this base, which was originally planned for a fourth line, in this base will be what we deleted a few minutes ago, or half an hour ago, or something. So now we need to build 2 of those same templates, but over here, and then program them differently. Two by 4, yep. And we want them aimed back-ish. Doggone it. Well, I can point it that way, so that the stuff coming out of here just comes out here, comes back, and wraps back, which would be the simplest, but then that points these outputs that way, which basically means running a belt under or over or somewhere. Or I can take and run these outputs under and wherever. Or I can rebuild the blueprint to output back where the inputs are. Yeah, that ain't happening. I think we're going to... I want to say I'm going to punt and say nuts with it. Let's see. If I come back this way, it's going to come back to this point. I do have enough room to put the sinks and the other thing in here, which will be sufficient for the moment. And then we will actually, we're going to do a combination. I knew there was a reason I left extra space. I just didn't know what it was until now. Okay then, so wait a minute. Yes, that one. So we're going to point them that way, but we're going to start them aligned with... Actually, we're going to start them aligned with this end here. Make absolutely certain I'm aligned. Is that close enough alignment? Better be. And then we're going to push them all the way to the outside, which is where I made the mistake on the other side there, because it is not a full 5 blocks wide, it is 2 ticks short. So center it with 1 tick on either side. And that's why these last 2 on this side are out of alignment, is I didn't center it. Should be out like that, and I need a break. I will be right back. Okay. Now I need to... Oh good, I didn't intermix with that. We just need to connect across belts. I don't need to upgrade the belts in this case. Mark 4 is fine. As long as they get hooked up. And we need power. And while I was out, I realized we have an issue. But at the moment, I don't know how to solve. I'm going to have to do that math thing again. And I apparently scared Dan away, so... The problem is... we need 2 lines of copper for that. We need 2 lines of copper for that. And we need 2 lines of copper for that. But we have 4 lines of copper. Power, programming, heatsink, doubled, yep, copy that, paste that, paste that, paste, 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 and paste. Okay, that appears to be successful. Now what we're going to do is take oh, come on. Belt. We're going to go there. And there. And then we're going to go nope. Now can you see how that is jogged? That's because what should have been a straight corner automatically generated is not. And the question is, which or both of these got set crooked? doesn't matter. I'm going to redo all of them manually. I'm guessing that it's the first set. Because it seems to always be coming out of either a splitter or a left. So this one goes here. Nope. That one goes there. That one goes there. That one goes there. And now at the other end, wherever that ends up, we will have a straight bar. In this case, we want the inputs. So we're going to come around to nope, we're going to do that, and then not there, you dummy. That. Ran out of bricks. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you're finding it interesting in whatever way is interesting to you. Maybe you're learning something or laughing at me for doing it wrong. That's okay too. We all do things our own way. And for the record, while I have played up to the beginning of Phase 5 on a multiplayer with other people, this is the farthest I have been on my own, doing everything myself. So I am at this point learning things right along with you. Alright, copper. So what do we need total supply for copper? This wants 20 per minute times 20 machines. That is 400 per minute total. So this really only needs one split lane. Is that right? Copper, 20 per minute. There's 10 machines per row. Yeah. Okay, so that only wants one belt. This wants, this doesn't need copper. This wants copper. This wants copper at 20 a minute. This is the same thing per 20. So this only needs one belt. This wants all of it. Oh crap. And I remember this. This doesn't want copper nuggets, ingots. This wants copper sheet. And a crap load of it. Which in a previous episode I considered building, whether we were going to build a copper plant up here. Looks like we're going to be building a copper plant up there. But this means that I don't need all of this copper in this way. The copper I just ran below, I don't need. What I need I'm going to leave these this way, even though it's because each of these belts I'm gonna have to go all the way back over there to remember, but I think they're 450. See if we can get over there while flying. I'm following my power lines down there. So each of these belts $75 times, I believe we have 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, so 6. 75 times 6, or 3 times 150 is 450 per belt, yes. So the two things that are doing Al-Clad only need 400, so they only need one belt split between both lanes. So these first two, the bottom two here, which at the moment go all the way over to that first set, we're going to take the bottom one this is going to suck. I'm going to have to come back and clean this up another time. Take and split this. There, and then the upper one So the upper one, this is here, that does not look like it's lined up. I want the belt, thank you very much, not the pole. Should be flat and level. Don't need you. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll bring you over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it'd be closer to bring it from the near side instead of going all the way underneath. However, these are already run. So that means I don't need these. Instead, not quite what I had in mind there, buddy. So that covers our copper for those. This wants a whole bunch of copper sheet. How much copper sheet do you want? You want 22.5 per minute times 16. Is that the doubled recipe? No. I had not yet fully programmed these. You're going to want 45 per minute. $90 times 8. And I run out of shards. Did I put shards in here by chance? Some of them. Try this again. $45 times 16. $90 times 8. 72, I think. So you want 720 total, 360 per column, so a little more than, well, a little less than one set each. So what we'll do is bring these last two that I took down below and bring them up one to each of these columns. No, can't do that. This is ingots. Need to make sheet. Erk. We need 360 each out of sheet. Copper sheet is made with a constructor. Oh, good grief. Had a 2-to-1 ratio. We have I need 720. I need 720 sheet. I have, or per lane, I need 360 sheet, and I have 480 ingots. But it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Never mind the fact that we need 70 machines to get that many. I don't think we're going to build that in that little spot next to the copper belts. And I don't see how to get let's see, to get 360 sheets, I would need 640 per lane. Yeah, I need another belt of copper, and I don't have it. And that's pure copper I'm pulling off of over there. That is, let's look back at this. Where's the rest of where's the rest of my plant? Where's my copper plant? Where's everything but where I'm at? It does take a minute to redraw, but I mean, it was drawn before. It shouldn't need to redraw it. It's a buggy. Okay, so let's do this. So the copper is it's here, but this says I'm only pulling 2. And I thought there was 4 nodes. And I was tapping all of them. Well, there's another node then that's pure. But we've space. Let's go look over there and see what's going on over there. Need to route some of these power cables. So we're using the pure copper ingot recipe because it's more efficient. Unfortunately, as I discovered after the fact, it's also slower. So we get 30 to 75, so almost a 1 in, more than a 1 in, 2 out. What is it, 2.5 out? Where if I use the regular, that's not even, if I use the regular smelter recipe, it's 1 to 1. Now it's 30 a minute versus, is this one actually faster? Yeah, this one is actually faster. So if I doubled this one, it would only be 60. So in this case, it is better. I was noticing that some of the pure recipes are more efficient, but it's actually a lower output. So this one is not. So we are getting a better deal. Not just efficient, not just ratio, but efficiency. But it's not enough. And apparently we're only using 2 mines. This one here. Hello, whatever that was. We've got these 2 mines. Is that all we're using? How do we have the mine set? We've got these doubled, we've got these. So we could crank these up more. But we also have the matter of, well, we could fit 2 more pumps in there. But then we can't crank these up by double again. So we need a lot more, like a whole nother layer of those. And there's the other copper node over here somewhere. Let me have a, there it is. So we're not using it. I did run power to it on purpose, but there's no mine here. So we could grab that copper, but again, we'd need to put we got room to put more water down there. I just need to build another lane here, I guess. Well, I am not up to that tonight. Absolutely not. No way, no how. I'm lucky to have gotten this far. So I think I will call it here, and we know what we're doing next time. So thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. As usual, my daily Fixmas episode in the morning. And some evening in the next few days will be we'll deal with copper, it looks like. My best guess at the moment is going to be Sunday night. I will try to do it tomorrow, but my best guess is it's going to be Sunday night, because I think Saturday is a busy day for me. I never can remember which day is which. But that's going to be the end of this stream. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Have a good evening. Thank you.